Lot to get to here on a Monday. Welcome right into it. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello. Tony Gwynn Jr. in the Windy City, Chicago, where the Padres begin a series tonight against the Cubs. Matt Skraby alongside here in the Bill House Studios, where we know how. Just a couple of hours to spend with you, coming off of the, well, I'll say it in the most positive way I can, a 4-2 homestand for the Padres. That's how we're trying to. Look at it. A little better that way than talking about the last 2 days, but we will certainly get into that in a moment. But right away, Tony Gwynn Jr., some Padre news on this Monday. The longest 7-day IL stint I've ever seen, but Jake Cronenworth is finally back with the Padres, and he's been activated for tonight's game against the Cubs.
Yes,
so there's that.
He is, nice. I mean, listen, it's anything at this point. We want to see Jake return and hopefully be able to kind of be an offensive presence. I know he wasn't swinging the bat, great when he went down, but, I think having him back in the lineup, just his presence could be a little boost for this team as they go on a pretty tough roadie.
Yeah, tough trip. I guess we're just going to get to the lineup before I'm allowed to say anything else.
No, I just want to make you aware that the lineup was out, but we can go ahead and do that before the end of the segment.
Thank you. We'll see if Jake is in the lineup here in a moment.
He's in the lineup.
He is. Okay. Well, then we don't have to wait on that part of it. But it is a tough road trip. I mean, you got the Cubs, you got 4 in LA against the Dodgers, come right back home with 4 against Arizona, another team that you're kind of in the middle of the wild card race with, and then you finish with Toronto before the All-Star break. No days off between now and then. So the Padres have a couple of busy weeks, and they certainly, it would have been great to get one of these last 2 and call it a 5-1 homestand. The Saturday night game, I'm not going to worry about that one. There's always a couple of those a year. The game Sunday was frustrating in the sense, to me, Tony, that really Michael King just kind of lost the strike zone long enough for the Dodgers to take the game. It wasn't a day in which the Dodgers did a whole lot. But Padres starting pitching continues to be a concern, I think, moving forward. We've got to figure this out sooner rather than later.
All of a sudden, it's funny. All of a sudden, you feel less concerned about the offense, and now the starting pitching is coming into focus. And I think deep down, we kind of all knew that we're all asking the question, how long can you sustain, not having your 2 best pitchers,
right? Not
having, you're probably, you can make the argument, one of your best pitchers not at his best, and they've tried the opener. It looks like today they're going away from the opener because it hasn't been as successful the last couple of times out, from the standpoint of the starter the bulk guy coming in and being able to navigate it. It hasn't worked out quite the same. So I think the starting pitching, we all thought that or wondered how long it could last, that it would be this good. And I think we're finding out that it's starting to go through a little rough patch here.
Yeah, the bill's gonna come due when you don't have your number 1 and number 2 starters, and you can almost throw in Darvish, even though we knew coming into the season we wouldn't have him. But that's another pretty established pitcher that the Padres have had to go without all year long. And look, I mean, they've fallen to, I think, 23rd best in the major leagues in starters ERA. And I think even that's a little misleading because starters ERA includes all the really good opener starts that the Padres have had. And, Kyle Hart did a good job the other night with a couple of innings of work before Vasquez stepped in. But Vasquez has slumped badly. Michael King has not been himself other than that one great start he had against Atlanta. And, look, I mean, you're really you're kind of wondering how you're going to get through these next 2 weeks because, again, like you said, Tony, no days off. I think it was Craig Stammen even saying today, at least I read, where, hey, I know what can happen to a bullpen if it gets worn out because I was in a couple of bullpens that got worn out, and so he knows. And, eventually, I mean, even Walker Buehler, and we love what he has done, is incredible. The guy had a 1.71 ERA in June. I mean, you did not think that was happening from Walker Buehler. But, in 5 starts, he pitched 26 innings, which means 5 innings per start, maybe a little bit more. But so Walker Buehler still not where they're going to let him go deep into games. So you don't really get a bullpen rest day when Walker Buehler pitches. And you're certainly not getting a rest day any of the other days. So, Craig Stammen's going to have to be very careful how he navigates this. And
so I think we should all keep in mind now then, because that is everything Chris said is true. But with Stam recognizing what can happen to a bullpen when it's overused, don't be surprised if guys have longer leashes. And,
right,
it's not going to always go the right way when that happens, right? He may next time, especially in this stretch, leave Walker in when he took him out. And that's kind of the adjustment he has to make, or has to at least consider, as he's trying to navigate not taxing his bullpen. And this 17-game stretch is no joke. I mean, this is a tough time for the starting pitching to all of a sudden hit a rough patch here as you go 17 straight, where there ain't no off days to be able to he's going to have to be very methodical, very thoughtful, and he always is. I think that's one of his strengths with this bullpen, is understanding how to use guys and when to go get them. He's going to have to be on his P's and Q's in this stretch here.
Yeah, well, I know one thing. Watching the game Friday night, if he hadn't taken Walker Buehler out, Walker Buehler would have been just fine with that. Because I know Walker Buehler. We know Walker Buehler. He did not want out of that game. We all saw his face. Yeah, he did not want out of that game. We all saw his face. Yeah, he was not in a hurry to come out of that game, but paid off in a victory. Look, I mean, you got a big win over the Dodgers. Matsui got out of that inning, and they closed things out. So I think Stammen said, we got to get this one over the Dodgers, and I don't blame him for getting it. Griffin Canning starts tonight. That's all you need to say. Everybody knows he's got to pitch better. I'm sure he does. They obviously have to have at least, God, is it terrible to ask for 4 innings? 5 or 6 would be, Mardi Gras, the way Canning has pitched lately. But you told us, I think your weather reports, Tony, was that the wind is blowing out tonight at Wrigley. So it might be a night where you give up some runs. Yeah.
Yeah, no, if the flags are going to continue to move like this, yes, it is it's in your best interest to keep the ball down.
Keep the ball down. Well, and you have to manage that way. If they give up a few runs, you're going to have to stick with it. So
that's right. That's right.
That's the way it's going to be tonight.
But listen, both teams get to hit in it. So you know what I'm saying? Yes, it is blowing out. If runs are being scored, that means both sides need to be out there putting up runs. You know what I'm saying? It can't be solely on the pitching to figure out how to throw zeros in this type of climate. I mean, when I say these bad boys are whipping, like, it's kind of absurd right now.
I'm thinking, my mind goes right back to a day. I don't remember. It was a day in 1979. I know, Skraby, you're going to play music, yeah, Phillies
preview from the Big Five.
I know, Phillies 23, Cubs 22. So I always dream of maybe another day of like something like that.
God help us.
Yeah, I know. Shota Imanaga will pitch tonight for the Cubs. If you're wondering,
he's a ground ball guy, right?
Imanaga?
Yeah,
I've seen him give up some long balls.
I'm sure.
He might be a fly ball guy.
He can give up some.
I'm a little scared of tonight's matchup. I'm not going to lie.
Well, let's have some fun out there and see where it goes. We'll give you the lineup here in a second. I do want to, before the lineup, though, one guy that'll be happy to see the wind blowing out tonight is Manny. And, I think it's fair to point out, as we have, pointed out his, batting average and everything that's happened, that the last 3 weeks his OPS has gone up 78 points. So that's saying something. That's a pretty good amount, right? I mean, and a home run and a double yesterday, and it almost was 2 home runs. The one landed on the warning track or fell short at the warning track. You saw it coming a little bit, Tony. The results are starting to come now. The only thing is I want one of those Manny hot strings where he actually does carry us to like 5 or 6 wins, which we know he's capable of. but he has to start hitting before he can do that, and maybe he has turned the corner.
I've said it a lot. Hitting is a process, and it very rarely just the light switch goes on and somebody just gets scalding hot, right? Manny is in that process of getting to that scalding hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is. To me, yesterday, right? He had the homer and double. It felt quiet, right? Like you kind of, and maybe that's because the Padres end up losing and it's the Dodgers and all that. But you kind of forget that Manny did have 2 knocks. He went deep and had a double, both, and even the one before that you mentioned, catching on a warning track. All those balls are laced, and that's what all of his swings are starting to look like. It's only a matter of time. Don't be listen. The way these flags are going, it could be a 2-homer type night for somebody like Manny.
It sounds like the wind is blowing out so bad. We can't see it where we are. Obviously,
I mean, Manny, this ballpark can't hold Manny anyway. But I'm just saying, like, you add the wind part.
Can't hold Manny. I was just saying, it sounds like it's blowing out so hard right now. Tony may go down and grab a bat. Like, tonight's the night. You want to get one up in the air?
Nah, it ain't that hard. You know what I'm saying?
I just really don't.
I like my health.
Yeah,
I just really don't want to see PCA celebrating too much.
God, can we just walk him 4 times so that he doesn't have to show off?
He'll show off and they'll get picked
because
off.
then he's still in second and third. Like, we don't need the drama,
can we
man.
I'm already preparing.
I can't stand him right now.
You know what? It's not even his success; it's his celebrations every time he does something. Each one makes me angrier than the one before it. So
yeah, I did like when he got picked off after.
Well, that one was funny. Yeah, when he hit the cycle and they picked him right off. But, all right, let's get the lineup out, Scrape.
All right, batting first. Playing right field, Fernando Tatis Jr., Samad Taylor playing left field, batting second, Manny Machado playing third base, batting third, Miguel Andujar DHing in the cleanup spot, Ty France first base, batting fifth, Jackson Merrill center field, batting sixth, Xander Bogaerts seventh, shortstop, Freddie Fermin catching at the 8th spot, and Jake Cronenworth back at second base, batting 9th for the Padres. Griffin Canning, there's no opener tonight, it looks like.
At least not yet. Yeah, they toyed, I think, with the idea, and they have recalled Bradley Rodriguez today.
Yes, they did.
With David Morgan going on the injured list. That's just my own opinion. I'm sure I hope David's not really hurt, but he is at least on the injured list. Bradley comes back. But yeah, they're going to go with Canning tonight. The other move that was made, I think we mentioned with Jake, Will Wagner was sent down, which is a little surprise to me. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we are underway. Tony's in Chicago. Tony, you're at a place I would love to be, man. Chicago, Wrigley Field. It's one of my favorite vibes in all of baseball. So start of a big 3-game series tonight. We'll have it for you in a couple of hours with Matt Snyder joining us on the program. And a huge NBA trade just came down within the last 25 minutes. I'll let Tony explain when we come back on 97.3 The Fan. Huge trade.
About Jackson Merrill making plays all over the place this year. Last night, making plays all over the place. And I was trying to figure out online, and it didn't really give me an answer. What makes a platinum glover a platinum glover, and what makes a gold glover a gold glover?
I think it's voted on.
Okay.
I think it's voted on by all of the. I think out of all of them, they all get votes. I think that's how my understanding is. And the winner of that vote, I think it's the fans that get to vote it too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though.
The fans get to choose the platinum glove?
Maybe it's not the fans. I know there's a vote for that portion of the platinum glove.
Do we think that Jackson Merrill is on pace for at least a gold glove this year?
That's so hard to say. Because you don't know, we see Jackson every day. I haven't seen Michael
Everybody
Harris
else every day.
Right, like so. Of course, I'm gonna say he seems like he is, but I don't know what the rest of these guys.
Yeah, he's made a lot of Gold Glove plays, I would say, this year, and I think we have to just be content with that, and then see where the Gold Glove takes you. You could go if you go through the history of the Gold Glove. It's a bit of an interesting study because what you see is guys getting the Gold Glove and then keeping the Gold Glove for years and years and years and years. Doesn't mean that they don't deserve it necessarily, but it's a very hard thing to actually determine, I feel. And I think there's a lot that goes to having already won it. Your dad won how many, Tony? 4, 5? Five. But it took a long time before he was in consideration for the first one, before people started to say, hey, wait a minute, this guy can play some right field now, and then he had the breakthrough. And then I think he just kept up playing good right field. I'm not saying he fell off, but it's like once you win one, you keep it. And so it's hard to get that first one, I've always felt. And, maybe Jackson can get that. So, but Tony's right. You haven't seen every other center fielder play every other, position. I wonder how much the analytics and all of that stuff enter into it too.
Let me kind of fill some of the holes in this. It is no longer a popular award as it was in my dad's era. Maybe about 10 years ago, they started actually using metrics.
So they are using some of those metrics.
This is how you started seeing actual dudes who were good defenders and didn't necessarily have, the offensive prowess that some of the other older versions used to get. These guys who are getting it now, they are having to lead in some of these categories and kind of determine it that way. So it's not like it used to be. So if Jackson, I think it's actually easier now for a guy like Jackson to break through, whereas in the past,
you might be
if there was, whoever, name your center fielder, Mike Trout, right? If he was in the National League, it would be very hard to unseat him if he's still out here playing and healthy on a consistent basis. So I think Jackson actually has a chance, I think.
My question about Jackson Merrill, making plays all over the place this year. Last night, making plays all over the place. And I was trying to figure out online, and it didn't really give me an answer. What makes a platinum glover a platinum glover, and what makes a gold glover a gold glover?
I think it's voted on.
Okay.
I think it's voted on by all of out of all of them, they all get votes. I think this is how my understanding is. And the winner of that vote, I think it's the fans that get to vote it too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though.
The fans get to choose the platinum glove?
Maybe it's not the fans. I know there's a vote for that portion of the platinum glove.
Do we think that Jackson Merrill is on pace for at least a gold glove this year?
That's so hard to say because you don't know. We see Jackson every day. I haven't seen, Michael
Everybody
Harris
else every day.
Right. So of course I'm gonna say, he seems like he is, but I don't know what the rest of these guys are.
He's made a lot of gold glove plays, I would say, this year, and I think we have to just be content with that and then see where the gold glove takes you. You could go, if you go through the history of the gold glove, it's a bit of an interesting study because what you see is guys getting the gold glove and then keeping the gold glove for years and years and years and years. Doesn't mean that they don't deserve it necessarily, but it's a very hard thing to actually determine, I feel. And I think there's a lot that goes to having already won it. Your dad won how many, Tony? 4, 5? 5. But it took a long time before he was in consideration for the first one, before people started to say, hey, wait a minute, this guy can play some right field now, and then he had the breakthrough. And then I think he just kept up playing good right field. I'm not saying he fell off, but it's like once you win one, you keep it. And so it's hard to get that first one, I've always felt. And, maybe Jackson can get that. So, but Tony's right. You haven't seen every other center fielder play every other, position. I wonder how much the analytics and all of that stuff enter into it too.
Let me kind of fill some of the holes in this. It is no longer a popular. 419 here from Wrigley Field. 219 there in San Diego. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Skraby. Who is this right here? What band is that right there? I recognize that.
Puddle of Mud.
Puddle of Mud.
Yes.
Where did I hear this at? Was this like a poppy thing when we was
I don't think
younger?
It was pop, but yes, it was definitely was being played a lot.
What genre do you call this?
You know what? I don't know. Chat, tell me. I would say I guess you could say
help us out, chat.
Pop rock, even though I just
pop
said it's
rock?
not pop.
But I think somebody might have a problem with pop rock. But
I was going to go country.
It's not country.
I'm joking. I know it's not country. Even I know that.
You will not hear a country song on this show.
Puddle of Mud.
Oh, man. They're great. They're great.
Okay. Chris mentioned an NBA trade.
Oh, new metal. They're new metal. That's right.
New metal.
Yeah,
is that
like,
what it is?
like
Okay.
Linkin Park, like those types of
Okay.
bands.
I didn't hear any
Okay.
metal there though.
It gets into it.
Got it.
Okay. Big trade. John Morant.
Yeah, that's the
Is-
French version of John Morant. Jean Morant.
John Morant. John Morant is headed to Portland.
Yeah.
He is going in a 3-player deal. Jeremiah Grant and Chris Murray will head to Memphis, and John Morant will head to Portland. This was coming, I think, after seemingly him getting into it with teammates and hearing teammates and
Pretty much everybody else complain about
getting
him.
in with teammates, getting with his coach, seemingly kind of hurt often. He's been into a lot of trouble. It seemed like it's good time for a change of scenery for him, and Portland may be the spot for him. It's an up and coming team that got to the playoffs last season, and we don't know. This could be a good fit. They got a new head coach there. It's different than the coach that got him to the
Thiago Splitter went to the Bulls because he was just an interim. But he was an interim basically for the whole season.
Yeah, no, he was an interim for the whole season.
Right,
yes.
he took over for Chauncey Billups after the whole gambling thing. And the new ownership in Portland's a little weird. It's a little wonky. There's some people that are kind of the owner of the Portland Trailblazers owns the Carolina Hurricanes. So he won the Stanley Cup in hockey, and he owns the Blazers. And I think thinks he's kind of smarter than everybody else. So he's doing a bunch of things different. And the folks around the NBA are not too happy, like with even the contract and the way it's been structured for his coaches and things like that. So a bit of a controversy there.
He definitely is playing hardball, especially in terms of the coach is concerned.
Yeah.
He came under fire because he forced, I think, his team to get out of a hotel a little bit early because in the way I actually heard him talk about this, and what he said made a lot of sense. Like, it was like they wanted to charge them a whole extra day, and there was the folks who needed to be in the hotel stayed in the hotel. There was some extra folks that didn't necessarily need to be in those hotel rooms, so we moved them out to a different hotel. Either way, he's doing things a little bit different.
Yeah, but he's being criticized for it, and maybe he'll end up being right. I tell you this,
he also is the type that has to sign off on a deal like this. He's not acquiring John Morant. Wow, what is with the French?
Someone on the chat said Jean Morant.
I don't know where he's coming from. John Morant. It seems like he's okay in this, and so we'll see if this is a good thing for John Morant. But it's a big trade today. We'll get into that maybe a little bit later.
One last thing on the trade, though, real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, how much did Memphis want to get rid of John Morant? They just got in return a guy in Chris Murray who averaged 1 point a game, and Jeremy Grant or whatever got 10 points a game. 2 players that are really nothing players to get rid of a generational superstar type player.
Well, remember, they tried to trade him during the season, and it sounded like, listen to Shams talk about it, and people who were around the league said he had no value at that point. So this is what they get at this point. And, I think now John Morant has to do all of the work kind of moving forward and kind of change how he's viewed at this point. Not just outside of basketball, but in the actual league that he plays in.
For sure.
All right, let's one of the bigger moments that may have kind of slid under the radar, may not have, was the non-ABS challenge. I believe it was in the 6th.
Game was tied.
It was in the fateful
of the
inning. Yeah, it was in the fateful inning.
Yeah,
there.
bases loaded, 1 out.
And I have a theory on this. And I mentioned it during the broadcast. I thought, you'd like to see that one challenged. And I think this is what happens when you don't have an aggressive kind of mindset when it comes to ABS challenge, is that it's in real time when these things are moving that fast. Your instinct now, because of how they have been so careful to not use these, is to maybe not go. And I think Michael King, he blamed himself. And, after he explained it, I could kind of understand why he felt that way, right? I mean, it's a Duran setup. I believe it was on the inside corner to a right-hand hitter. The ball ended up cross-firing all the way on the opposite corner. And so from Duran's standpoint, especially at these speeds, his eyes aren't fast enough to catch that quite, perfect all the time. So he didn't think. He thought, I'm reaching across. That's probably off. Michael King, who's probably straight on at that point, has a better look. It's probably the only time the pitcher has a better look than the actual catcher. But it turned out to turn what would have been a strike 3, what turned into ball 4, and then the big hit then came after that from Mookie Betts. And we have discussed in different ways the ABS challenge, and I thought it came back to bite them yesterday. And them not, they had to. I've said this before. They are the probably lead all of baseball with most challenges kept at the end of a game. And I think because of their reluctance, that played into what happened in that inning, in that 5th inning.
I want to be clear because I believe I'm one of the reasons why they're so reluctant, because I think they listened to the show, and I was so critical at the beginning of the year of Freddie Fermin and others challenging willy-nilly and wasting them. And I was really, bothered me. And I'm like, stop doing that. Stop doing that. So, I'm going to take credit. No, it's silly to think. Yeah. No, exactly. But what I'm saying is I never once said that you can't use one in the 5th inning when the bases are loaded and you could force in a run. Yeah, that was the exact time to risk it. Even if you were wrong, to me, that was a time to risk it because there was a whole run at stake, right? If he gets the call at strike 3, now there's 2 outs, bases loaded. You could conceivably get out of the inning with nothing. By not challenging, it's a run, and as it turned out, 3 runs because Betts got the single. So you're right, Tony. They've hung on to them, but it's their choice of when to challenge and when not to that I think has been poor all year. And this was an absolute perfect time to challenge because the risk was certainly worth the reward.
My point is, I don't know that there's an in-between throttle that you're looking for where the game is so slow that because remember, you only have seconds to challenge. You don't have time to kind of think through this process. And so I think the teams we see have the better success are the more aggressive teams when it comes to using these challenges. And the Padres aren't an aggressive team when it comes to using the challenges. And I don't think that's coming from the staff. I just think these guys have been reluctant to challenge for fear of that they don't want to blow one.
I got to get this in because I know Tony's got to run and I have to hear from him on this. So I know we have to go over a minute. Sorry, Skraby. It's been on my mind since Friday. It's the best play I've seen all year by any player in any game, in any situation. And it was Manny Machado letting that pop-up fall on Friday night with the bases loaded. I loved that play almost more than any play I've ever seen. And there were so many things going on here that I don't know that everybody realized. But first of all, he had to tell himself, if there's a pop-up in the infield, I'm letting it fall. He couldn't have made that determination once the ball went up. He'd already decided. Secondly, he had to judge that when he did allow it to fall, that he kept it in fair territory, because if it bounced foul, it would have simply been a strike and the batter would have stayed at bat. But so many things were going through his mind, and the reaction of the crowd, which for a split second, me included, everybody thought, oh my God, what's he doing? And for him to be so smart, and it's not shocking that it's Manny, but so smart to have thought that entire thing through and perhaps maybe catch a Dodger napping off base. We've talked about his high baseball IQ. This was one of the greatest examples I've seen of it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing he does surprises me anymore. But this isn't a skill that takes some crazy athleticism.
Right.
It's simply paying attention and mapping these things out before they actually happen.
Exactly.
I guarantee you that wasn't the only scenario he went through in his head. And, it wasn't just that he went through his head. He has to, he's also watching the umpire. He's watching the hitter, because what I'm sure many of you guys didn't realize, Adrian Johnson didn't call infield fly rule until the very last second, which is why he let it bounce, because he didn't have time by the time Adrian finally called it, the ball was already pretty much at his head. So he didn't have and then he had the presence of mind to turn around and save that ball. That was, another roll. It's a foul ball, and it's no longer the good play. But it was all of those things encompassing. I don't think Manny really surprised. He doesn't surprise me anything he does defensively, offensively.
But you were witness, if you were there and saw that, to one of the really great examples of just high level baseball IQ. So good that nobody who saw it knew what he was doing when it was happening. And I will also give the Dodger base runners credit, because all three of them kind of hesitated and started to run for a second, and then went, "Oops, wait a minute, he's trying to catch me."
Yeah, no, you listen. These are two pretty intelligent teams. They may have lost track for a millisecond, but we didn't get any extra out, so they all bid on it. They all didn't bite on it.
No, they didn't. But man, did I love to see a play like that. That was my favorite. By the way, did Jesse get fooled at all in the booth? Because you were sitting with him. That's a tough call to make as the announcer.
I was listening to them, and he
were
did
you?
not.
No.
He
was on it.
No.
Yeah, because that's a tough call. Did you say, "Oh no, he dropped it"?
Matter of fact, I think Jesse said it. Adrian called it infield fly at the last second.
Okay, he was on it. Wow.
He definitely was.
It was.
I do love the Apple TV feature. Just got to throw that in there, where you can listen to the radio while you're watching the game.
Well, I just want everybody to know, because I am the curmudgeon of the group, I do not hate everything. A play like that made me happy for an entire weekend. That is how much I love that play.
Made you happy?
Sorry. I love brilliant baseball. I love brilliant baseball. That was brilliant.
All right.
Let's
bottle this up, guys.
All right, let's get to break. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side. I have to rock out. I'll be back for the Big Five, though. More Gwynn and Chris.
It's always nice when you start with a home run.
No doubt about
and 496. Come on. I don't know why I swung at that. Come on, pitching coach. Get it up. That's what she said. Go. That was almost like his walk-off home run. Ooh, that one sounded good. Keep going. Oh, 511.
Monster home run.
I don't know if that's actually happened. Oh, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, wait.
That one is
gone. I didn't need it to go. Go. That one's gone.
His third in a row.
Where am I? Oh, the scoreboard disappeared. I think that's too high. Let me see, scoreboard.
That one's out of here and into the second.
I think I'm tied for second, and that one's going to hopefully keep me there and put me at first. Ooh, even longer.
Home run.
I think I maybe hit it. Oh wait, no, that's me right out there.
6 consecutive home runs.
I was watching another one. Oh, I think that was off the end of the bat. Terrible. Wait, I made it? It's Coors Field, man. Go. Oh, didn't have a shot. Oh, I think I'm too far ahead. Nope. A home run.
Another home run.
Okay, what, 9? I was looking at the score thing. I think it might be a home run, though. Ooh, it was.
He takes on the bleacher
oh, I'm in
section.
second. Ooh, that was a high pitch. Is that going to go? A little bit early, but it's gone.
That one's out of here. Now 11 home runs for him.
I'm hoping that one is. I don't know. Yes.
And
I'm having a hard time judging these things, apparently. Oh, that one just sounded amazing. So what, I have like a minute left with 13 home runs. I'm still in second. Oh, that one. I need to basically hit a home run everywhere. Oh, that one worked.
That's into the bullpen.
Didn't think it was going to clear the wall. That one also sounded great.
That is now
Oh, wow.
5 in a row.
Yes, I think I got it. 16 with what, 36 seconds
6
left?
consecutive home runs.
Oh, is it going to get inside the pole? Yes.
Make it 7 in a row now.
I need to keep up. Oh, that's not going to help me at all. It's 15 seconds left, and I'm in second. I need 2 home runs. I don't know. No. This is only the first round, but still. Ooh, that one was stroked.
And
Oh, 495.
that one's gone. Into
There we
the
go.
Second deck.
Take it. It's always nice when you start with a home run.
No doubt about
And
that
496, come on. Ugh, I don't know why I swung at that. Come on, pitching coach. Get it up. That's what she said. Go. That was almost like his walk-off home run. Ooh, that one sounded good. Keep going. Oh,
that's
511.
a monster home run.
I don't know if that's actually happened. Oh, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, wait.
That one is
Wow.
gone.
I didn't need it to go. Go. That one's gone.
His 3rd in a row.
Where am I? Oh, the scoreboard disappeared. I think that's too high. Let me see. Scoreboard.
That one's out of here. And into the
I
second
think
deck.
I'm tied for second, and that one's going to hopefully keep me there and put me in first. Ooh,
5
even
straight
longer.
home run.
I think I maybe hit it. Oh, wait, no. That's me. Right out
6
there.
consecutive home runs.
I was watching another one. Oh, I think that was off the end of the bat. Terrible.
Make it
87.3 The Fan, Padres, and I believe it's Matt Snyder's Cubs, is it not?
That's one of the
CBS
reasons I
Sports. So that's
texted
why
him.
you got him
Yes.
on, Matt Snyder, joining us from CBS Sports. Of course, he is a baseball guy more than anything else, but at heart, I believe he loves his Cubs. And your Cubs have gone through a very similar season to what the Padres have. Matt, in terms of injuries, my goodness, their whole starting staff has been wiped out. And even for a while, I mean, until maybe PCA got going here this month, I mean, they had a bunch of star players that were not performing to the level that they're used to. So you put it all together. Craig Counsell, I think, was doing what Craig Stammen has done here, which is kind of keep things afloat.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you said I love my Cubs. Well, this year has been kind of half and half. I've hated them for a lot of the year and loved it for a lot of the year. I mean, I try not to have recency bias with this. I try not to look only through my Cubs-colored glasses, but I feel like this is one of the most extreme up-and-down seasons that we've ever seen. I mean, we already know that they were the first team ever within the first 2 months to have 2 separate 10-game winning streaks and a 10-game losing streak.
That's right.
I mean, they started 7-9, then they won 20 out of 23. Then they went 7-22 for the next 29 games. And now they've won 12 of their last 16. So they're either like one of the very best teams in baseball or one of the very worst, and no in between. It's been ridiculous. But yeah, as you said, once PCA got hot, everything kind of snowballed from there with the offense averaging over 6.5 runs during this last 16-game stretch. Seiya Suzuki's gotten hot. Dansby Swanson has awakened. Nico Horner's starting to swing it a little bit, and all those guys were in just a major funk at the exact same time. And as you said, you guys would know an awful lot about the big names being in a major funk at the exact same time.
Yeah, and look, Fernando's coming out of it over here with a 21 game on base streak. Still has 3 home runs, and I just wonder how that plays, kind of on a national scene. Around here, I think a lot of people have just kind of accepted what he is at the moment and hope that the power will somehow come back, but I still find it to be a great mystery. And then the other thing,
he's kind of a table setter.
Yeah, right. He's more of a
We've called him Luis Ariz.
Yeah, right. We didn't want to keep Luis Ariz, and we got Fernando, and now Manny's raised his OPS up here 78 points in the last 3 weeks. So maybe he's starting to swing a little bit better. But can you survive with even with their improvement? The Padres are last in every conceivable hitting category in baseball: runs, hits, average, slugging, all that. Okay. Can you survive with that plus a starting pitching staff that is starting to show wear and tear because they've been without their top 2 arms all year, and the bill's starting to come due?
No, not long term. I mean, and we're seeing it because I believe the Padres started 19-9. Yeah, they're 5 games under 500 since then.
Yeah.
And that's even with sweeping the Braves last week and everything. So, no, you're seeing how you cannot survive long term, and it's gonna. I mean, it will add up at some point, and it has. So, you as you said, signs from Manny, signs from Fernando. Maybe Tatis hits 15 home runs in the second half of the season, and then Machado has been hitting home runs, but that's all he's been doing, as you know.
Yeah.
But he's starting to pick it up a little bit. He's got the doubles going. You have to have it from those 2 guys plus Jackson Merrill. You just absolutely have to have those 3 guys be the centerpieces, and then when you get the type of season you're getting from Ty France, that's a bonus. When you get what Xander Bogaerts, when he's going well, that's a bonus too. It's got to start with Machado, Tatis, and Merrill. And I don't want to beat a dead horse here because we've talked about it all year, but it's true.
Yeah.
Those have to be the 3 guys that are the offensive catalysts. And as you said, especially with the injuries to the rotation, there's only so much the bullpen can cover up. A bullpen cannot carry a team all year long. And again, that's why you're 5 games under 500 since that great start.
Talking to Matt Snyder here of CBS Sports on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking, it's better. I want to talk about ABS because yesterday the Padres had a situation where bases were loaded, top of the 5th, 1 out, and Michael King ended up walking in a run. They could have challenged it. It looked like it would have been a strike. But my question is, across Major League Baseball, did we not really know how much power ABS would hold over each and every game? Because I feel like ABS is one of the most important things in each and every game now.
It's kind of crazy. We go back, when it first got passed and we knew it was coming, I was ecstatic. I thought, it's going to fix egregious mistakes, game-changing mistakes, and that's pretty much it. But in the first few weeks of the season, guys went crazy. I mean, just from the eye test, I don't have any stats to back this up, but I feel like guys challenge a lot fewer calls now than the first 3 weeks of the season. The first 3 weeks of the season, they went crazy with it because it's here's this new toy. Now it kind of feels like a lot of the lesser players have been told you're not allowed to challenge. We're going to save that for our stars. Or in certain game situations, you need to save that challenge. You're not using it. A lot of pitchers, I believe, have been told you're not allowed to challenge because you suck at it. The catchers need to be the ones that do it when you're on defense. We're kind of still easing into it, but it's definitely become a lot bigger part of the game than I thought it would. The short answer to your question is yes. I didn't foresee it being. I mean, I'm screaming at the TV yesterday to challenge at the big spots in the Cubs Brewers game. You get so used to seeing that box on the screen, and the hitters don't have that, and it's a split-second decision.
That's
right. But you really get into it now.
Yeah, and if you get to the end of the game and you don't have one, and now you need it, that's been another real interesting dynamic.
In fact, if you remember Cubs at Padres the Cubs had run out of challenges, and
Mhm,
there was a
yeah.
big game moment where the Cubs, if they would have had a challenge, it would have changed the complexion of the inning.
Yeah, it was Matthew Boyd challenged it for no
Yeah.
reason at all. Basically, he had one of those challenges.
Was
early
that
in
the same
game.
game that the stupid umpire gave you guys a hit when Ty France picked up the ball in foul territory, Matt? Yes, it was. I think it was.
I don't remember that
I
one.
think it truly was. Yeah, it
Matt
was,
Shaw,
wasn't it?
right? It ended Mason
But
Miller's
no, but
scoreless
again-
streak.
Yeah, that's right. It ended
But-
Mason Miller's scoreless streak. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
still mad.
But to your point, the same thing I just said on Matthew Boyd challenge. The pitchers are bad at it.
Yeah.
The pitchers are always begging. You need to just leave it with the catcher. The catchers know if it's a strike or not.
All right, let me ask you real quick a couple of national stories because we've kind of kicked the whole Padre thing into the ground as much as we can. And the Mets disaster was what pushed it over the top for Carlos Mendoza. And answer me, why don't you think the GMs ever pay the price here? And then as soon as I said that, I know the Angels fired theirs, but
Yeah.
it seemed like Stearns just made a ton of decisions that were terrible.
Yeah.
And, you know, Mendoza has to get fired for it. I don't, am I wrong?
No. I'm surprised it took as long as it did before Stearns finally pulled the plug. I mean, especially when you see what happened with the Phillies. They fired Rob Thompson when they were 10 games under 500, and they've been one of the best teams in baseball since. That's not why they got hot, but it's eyewash sometimes, and it's for the fans to show, hey, we're trying to do something. I'm just surprised it didn't happen sooner. I definitely don't think this is Mendoza's fault. Maybe it was the 6 infield errors against the Cubs. That was ridiculous.
It didn't help. Yeah.
Maybe that was the tipping point, and they just waited until the end of the series. But the other thing, to your point on Stearns, I've talked about this all day on CBS Sports HQ. If you're Steve Cohen, you're going, all right, I hired this kid who's supposed to be a hot shot from the Brewers, and we were in the NLCS in his first year. And then he signed Juan Soto, and we completely collapsed last year and missed the playoffs. Now we're one of the worst teams in baseball with one of the highest payrolls in baseball. Why did I hire this guy? And I do wonder if maybe Cohen went to Stearns and said, what the hell's going on? And that's why Stearns fired Mendoza, was to say, oh, it's just the manager, even though he's the one who hired him.
Yeah, right. Don't look at me.
It's a complete mess. I know that nowadays, and I'm a fan of analytics to an extent, but a lot of the analytics-based people were really, really down on Pete Alonso and thought he's not going to age well. The Mets didn't even want to bring him back last year, and they did it on a one-year deal, with an opt-out or whatever. And then they didn't even try to re-sign him in the offseason. I just thought when you start with Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto, I kind of feel like you need the Thunder right behind them, a guy like Pete Alonso who's a big-time power guy who can hit 40 home runs. And they decided to move Jorge Polanco to first base, and they decided to move Bo Bichette to third base. It's hard enough to change teams anyway, but also to move positions. That was a bad idea from the get-go. And then they thought Nimmo's contract was bad. Well, they swapped it out for a worse contract in Marcus Semien.
Yeah.
Complete debacle of an offseason.
We're talking to Matt Snyder here, CBS Sports here on the SDCCU fan hotline. I wanted to pile on in trashing the Mets because there was a Mets podcast that was saying Juan Soto has no accountability, and he used to, in between innings, just go sit on a couch in the batting cages and wouldn't be with his teammates and things like that. Like, there's no real answer because I know that Major League Baseball teams are going to bring Juan Soto in, but isn't there some sort of something in the back of their head saying this is a bad idea?
There should be. I mean, it looks bad. I just talked about optics. That's something that optically looks bad. The bottom line, though, is he's hitting 300 with a 406 on base, 5.7 slugging percentage. He's doing exactly what they paid him to do. He has 17 home runs. He's walked more than he struck out. The problem with Juan Soto right now is his teammates are bad. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would be hard to keep a good, positive attitude through everything that they've been through these last 2 years after the collapse last year and what's been going on this year. I do think it looks bad. I don't think it's even close to their biggest problem.
Definitely not.
I agree with that. But I think Matt Snyder's our kind of guy.
Yeah.
And that's why I can say that, when you add up Soto, because you say they paid him to do all of those things and he's doing it. But I believe they still paid him to run out ground balls. And he doesn't do that. And he got thrown out in the game here because he was jogging. And I think Song went out into right field and retrieved the ball and threw him out. So, but nothing happens. There's no accountability, like the column said. There's no accountability. The Devers thing happened in San Francisco. To me and everybody out there, it was like a perfect chance for Buster Posey or somebody to stand behind their manager and say, hey, we're not going to tolerate that. But the very next game, Devers was batting cleanup. So, of course, they're going to keep the divas of the game are going to continue to be divas because baseball allows it to happen, right, man? I mean, Billy Martin would have run out and punched Juan Soto in the nose.
That would be awesome if that happened.
Right. Viral.
I would love to see it. It's a lot more player-friendly atmosphere for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many things about the Soto deal are interesting to me in that they probably would have been better suited to spread that around if they were going to spend that much money. It really seems like Cohen overpaid just to beat the Yankees out for him. They could have gone out and got look at the Yankees, got Cody Bellinger and Max Fried instead, and you would still have more powder dry to make a couple other moves. They probably would have been better suited to do that. And then I'm again going to advocate that they should have kept Alonso, but again, it's way past and done with that by now. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's a situation where the front office needs to have a hard conversation with him and say, look, you're a stud, you're a star, you're hitting like a star. That's great, but we could use a little better attitude as well. You need to be a team leader. And some guys aren't suited to be team leaders and don't like it. And I think Francisco Lindor's personality is a lot more suited to be a team leader than Soto, but he was hurt for a lot of the year. And Soto, when you're making $765 million, I kind of think it comes with the territory that you do need to be a leader, even if you don't feel suited for it.
I don't even care if you lead; just run to first base.
That's leading by example.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
By example.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
That is.
I know. All right, Matt. Well, we appreciate it as always. Thanks. Enjoy the week series with the Cubs and Pods, and we'll track you down later. Always appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks.
Yep.
Matt Snyder,
Matt.
always great from CBS Sports. And you can catch his stuff on cbssports.com. Today, cbssports.com giving out grades for the first half of the season on all the teams. You're going to be surprised. The Padres got a B+ for the first half. B+. Now, I think there's two ways of looking at this.
Yeah.
One, it's a B+ because they should not have this record based on everything that's happened to them. So maybe that's the B+. But on the other side,
I see what you're saying.
You could give a lower grade because their starting pitching is terrible. Their hitting is terrible.
Oh yeah.
Right. And their injuries are pretty bad. So that would be lower than a B+.
I think they're a straight up C.
Average. C.
Average. That's what they've been. We've talked about it the entire first half of the season. What is this game number? 80?
Yeah, they're 83 now. So they're one over the halfway mark. I said it the other day, or 82. They were 43 and 38 after Saturday. So that was the exact halfway point. Okay, 43 and 38. Would you, based on how things look right now, would you be more inclined to say that the second half they're better or worse than that?
Got to be better.
No, they have to be better to make it.
Yeah.
But do you believe what you've seen that they're going to be better than 43 and 38 in the second half? I think there's
optimism says yes, but my brain says no.
I agree. I think your mind, if you continue to see starting pitching like this, and you don't get any healthier there, and the hitting continues to be last in baseball, there is no way you're going to go 43 and 38 again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's been smoke and mirrors a little bit.
That's why I say Craig Stammen has done a lot better job than a lot of you people want to believe.
He definitely has
kept this thing somehow afloat. They are very much in contention despite all of these things that are really pretty ugly looking.
At least we get different lineups every day. We don't hear from those people. Oh, they have the same lineup every day.
If you just tuned in, Jake Cronenworth is back in the lineup tonight. Yeah, we'll talk about that and more. Tony rejoins us for the Big Five as Gwynn and Chris continues with hour number 2.
right. I think I need to take this one out of the rotation, Chris. It doesn't fit with our show.
I didn't even know. Yeah, there we go. A little something.
Thank you.
All right, we get into the second hour, which today is also the happy hour. Matt Shaw, by the way, Cubs infielder, placed on the IL, just came in. So don't look for him in this series.
I won't.
Padres and Cubs going tonight at Wrigley Field. We're going to do the Daily Gambit here in a second. And in the Daily Gambit, strangely, you're going to find out just how much the wind is blowing out at Wrigley Field tonight.
Okay.
I will explain that in a moment. But before we get to the Daily Gambit, World Cup, a couple days away from the big USA match against Bosnia
and Herzegovina.
I can, you know, what's funny is practicing that this weekend, and then I blew it when it came time. Bosnia and Herzegovina. There you go. I know. I told you I was working on it. I just came up empty. Wednesday at 3:00 is the big time to circle for the soccer match. We will be on the air, I believe, following
that's
Padre
fun.
Baseball. So you can kind of watch along and listen with us as we had the big soccer thing on Wednesday. Today, the entire country of Brazil and maybe the whole continent of South Africa, for all I know, taking a deep sigh of relief after Brazil scored in the final minute of extra time and beat stubborn Japan 2-1. And the other game going right now, Germany has scored here in the second half to tie things with Paraguay 1-1. So you're up to date on your World Cup action. Big NBA trade. Tony talked about it in the first hour. Ja Morant, or as Tony calls him, Ja Morant.
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant is on his way to Portland to join the Blazers.
Talk about Timbuktu.
Well, I think that's as far away as they could trade him, I guess. You know, Toronto wasn't open maybe, but they sent him to the hinterlands as much as they could. And again, you know that they just wanted to get rid of him because the two guys they were, acquired are kind of nobodies in exchange. It's not like a bunch of draft picks or something in the future for Memphis. They're like, please, we just don't want Ja Morant anymore.
Real quick,
so
Team USA plays at 5 on Wednesday.
Is it really?
3. That's what.
Oh, then okay. You know what I fell for?
What?
This is my fault.
Banana in the tailpipe?
I did. I fell for Fox's banana in the tailpipe. Their coverage begins at 3.
They're going to have 2 hours of coverage?
Exactly.
What are they going to talk about for 2 hours?
That's what I mean. They put it up on the screen. USA, Bosnia, Herzegovina at 3 p.m. Wednesday. And I'm like, oh, that's when it starts.
Nope.
That's when their stupid pregame starts.
Oh, man.
So my bad for falling for that. And thank you for somebody for correcting it.
2 hours of pregame?
I guess. 5:00. Okay, this is the kickoff. We appreciate that. Getting updated on that. So, okay, you're up to date. Jake Cronenworth is back with the Padres. The 7-day stay on the on the injured list is over for Jake.
It's a really long week.
Seemed like it was a long time ago that he went on that injured list, but I guess only 7 days. Will Wagner is sent to the minors. Why do I always feel like when we have a guy on the Friar Friday and they get sent down that I feel responsible for it somehow?
Well, maybe we should take some hints because they usually give us the guy before he gets sent down so that they can.
I mean, Will Wagner. Anyway,
he was fine. He was a good guest.
He was playing almost every day.
It's surprising.
I don't get it.
As quickly as he was put into the lineup is as quickly as he was removed from the lineup.
Now, I mean, this is going to be a question that I would ask. And, so somebody like Sammy or, AJ Cassavell will probably ask it. They'll ask it. But, I mean, why would you send down Will Wagner when push came to shove, you played Will Wagner instead of Sungmoon Song? So why did Will Wagner play? And then when it came time to send one of them down, you sent him down. I don't get that.
I don't know.
To me, somebody's got to answer that for me. Padres and Cubs coming up. Sam Levitt's pregame show in an hour. Let's do some Daily Gambit.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Chris and I broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios where we know how. Last week, or on Friday, we made some bets. Dodgers minus 1.5 on the run line against the Padres. Both of us went Padres. Padres did win this one, 7-1. That's what makes the weekend so disappointing for me.
Yeah, they got that first one, and
It's feeling good.
Well, you're thinking if they can sneak one, 5-1 would be a great homestand.
Great.
Manny came out yesterday and said, "Hey, we had a good homestand, 4-2." Well, that's a good way to look at it, but it didn't make me feel a lot better.
It did. The 15 runs that they scored on Saturday night also kind of
put a little damper on it.
Yeah, over under 7.5 runs. Both of us went over, and it was total of 8 runs, so we win. Strikeouts. Who had more? Sasaki -1 or Buehler? Sasaki did not have any command. He only had 2 strikeouts, minus that one is 1. We both chose Buehler, and he had 5, so we win that one.
Buehler was really good Friday night, and I'll take you back to Stammen took him out. I give Buehler a lot of credit because he wanted to strangle Stammen.
He did not. He had a look of do not
take me out.
Do not.
Yep.
I like that.
But that's what I want. Yeah, I want my pitcher. Now, that's different, though, from Devers, who won't come out of the game as a pinch runner. That's different.
That was a miscommunication, though.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Everything seems to be a miscommunication these days when things don't go right.
With Devers, at least.
Who had more strikeouts, Mizorowski or Skeens? You went Skeens, I went Mizorowski. Mizorowski had 8. Skeens had 7. So I win that one. Runs plus hits plus RBIs. Fernando versus Ohtani. You and Ohtani. I went Fernando. Ohtani had 1. I believe it was just a hit. Tatis had 2 hits. Or wait, he had 2 hits and an RBI, so 3.
Yeah.
3.
So Fernando won that one.
Cape Verde minus 0.5 or half a goal against Saudi Arabia. We both chose Cape Verde. It was a 0-0 tie, Chris.
I know, but Cape Verde got to the next round.
Okay.
So that was the big excitement there.
Spain and Uruguay. We both went over on the 2.5 total goals. It was only 1-0, Chris. So we lost that one.
Yeah.
Finally, Dream
My
at Valkyries.
wagering needs work.
Me too. Dream at Valkyries. Angel Reese over under 30.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. You went over. I went under. She had 15 points, 12 rebounds, no assists, 27. I win.
No assists.
No assists.
Pass the ball, Angel. All right, let's see what we got tonight. We got Cubs minus 1.5 against the Padres. It's at Wrigley Field. As
Wind's
you know,
blowing out.
You're up. Who's the winner here?
I'm gonna go Cubs. Sorry. Got it.
You know what? This is actually knocking Griffin Canning. Yeah, I'm going Cubs too.
Yeah.
I mean, until Griffin Canning can get somebody out, I
they
can't feel
just
comfortable going into this game tonight.
They just never score first either.
I mean, understand that if, this is we're having fun, but the idea is to, make the proper wager.
Yeah.
You would not honestly put a whole lot of money on Griffin Canning out there if it was really like your own hard-earned money.
No, I wouldn't.
So
no, I would not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cubs until further notice. I hope Griffin Canning gets it back tonight. Maybe, look, it can happen, but I need to see it. All right, here's why we know how the wind's blowing out. The over-under for runs is now 11.5. I bet it started at 7 or 8.5. And now with the weather report, the wind is going crazy, Tony said. You got to go 11.5 runs. And I say, why not? Griffin Canning in there?
Gross.
Go over.
Gross. It's 91 degrees there.
Oh, goodness. How could you live in these humidity?
Oh, there's apparently some tornadoes. Okay, so the winds are crazy.
Yeah, we don't have that to worry about that here.
What did you choose? You went over?
I went over. Why not?
I'll go over.
Wind blowing out. Tony's calling for 11 to 10 games.
Griffin Canning pitching.
Sorry, Griffin. Give Canning one more shot here.
Yeah.
More strikeouts. Griffin Canning or Shota Imanaga. Sorry, Griffin. I'm going Imanaga. I went against Canning in all 3, basically.
I'll go with Canning just to give a little bit of
love.
support. Yeah.
He was nice on the show.
Yes.
And let's I got a positive note for Griffin Canning here. He has a lower ERA in the month of June than Randy Vasquez does.
That's something.
Not really.
that is something.
Not really. Canning in the month of June is at 7.80.
Oh gosh, what is Randy Vasquez?
7.84.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not.
What happened to him?
I don't know. Better figure it out soon. We got World Cup action tonight. The orange guys.
The orange guys.
Yeah, I mean this in only the nicest way. The fans, they're all orange. You know, the orange wave. The Netherlands.
Oh, the Netherlands.
Taking on Morocco tonight. And I tell you, I got all kinds of issues with my DraftKings board, which gives me the odds numbers. It's not working properly.
It's not working, huh?
So Netherlands is favored by 1.5 over Morocco. Did I say they were playing?
You did. You did. Netherlands favored by 1.5.
Yeah, they're expecting Netherlands to win. You're up.
I'll go with Morocco.
You're going to take the goals.
Yes.
All right. By the way, when you tune the match on, if you're, into it, I know many of you are, understand that for some reason, the abbreviation for Morocco up on the score box is MAR.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a couple of those that are kind of strange.
Don't really get that, but it is what it is. All right, that's it. We're going to call it.
We're going to call it.
I can't get to anything. Everything is completely, you should see what's happening over here on my computer.
Did sports betting finally go down?
I hope so.
I hope so. Well, then we got to find a new segment.
Fine. I'd be more than willing to find a new segment if they could get rid of sports betting. By the way, did you, speaking of sports betting, okay, my computer's a complete disaster now. Everything is messed up.
User error.
Yeah, it is. I guarantee you it's user error. I have no doubt in my mind that it's user error. That doesn't change the fact that I can't access anything, and I just signed off the StreamYard too.
Now it's just my face with a big bar down the middle.
Now it's just all you. We better go to a break.
Yes, we need to.
Because we're having technical difficulties, or at least one of us is.
This is tough.
I tell you, we have to call in Sammy Levitt from the bullpen here.
Oh,
things are going bad. More Gwynn and Chris coming your way.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center.
what I did wrong. Computer was just kind of wigging out.
It's
Size of the screen was getting larger and smaller, and
I think I know what happened, but I'm not sure how you did it. I think
Right.
you got your keys stuck, and
that
you
must have
were.
been- I was in
zooming
the Zoom only.
for his browser.
I was zooming in and out of every page. I couldn't get anywhere. Nobody cares about that. You want to hear about the show. So welcome back to it. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Tony rejoins at the bottom of the hour for a lively Big Five. Sam Levitt, 4 o'clock, Padre pregame show. Padres, Cubs coming up tonight. Jake Cronenworth is back in the Padre lineup. You know what I did not do, and I meant to? Can you look while I'm talking about this? When was the last time he played?
Who is that? Sorry.
Jake Cronenworth.
Oh, yes.
Has it been 2 full months, or
It was definitely right after it was the Colorado or the no wait, he played in Mexico. I'm looking. His last game played was May 4th. So nearly 2 months.
almost 2 months?
Nearly.
Longest time ever spent on the 7-day IL. Jake Cronenworth setting a new record.
Pretty long.
By the way, we're thrilled to have Jake back. I think everybody, there's probably a few naysayers out there are going to say what? Well, he's only hitting 144.
That's true.
So, I'll let you say that, because until he's hitting better, fact of the matter is he can't necessarily be considered the savior at the moment. It's going to need to be more like the Jake that we come to know and love, rather than the Jake that we've come to know and not love nearly as much.
I love me a good professional at bat, Chris, but you still got to get on base.
Eventually, you've got to get.
I
you have to do something. 144.
yeah, sure. 9 pitch at bats are great, but if you're getting out every time, then what does it matter?
Jake really, really had a tough time, and hopefully, now he had some time to. A lot of time to rest. He can come back swinging. Tonight, he's batting 9th. If you're wondering, tonight, Will Wagner was sent down to make room for Jake. Talk more about that in a minute. And I also said the Cubs, Matt Shaw went on the IL, a late move this afternoon. He plays quite a bit for them, but I would not look for him in this series. Okay? And can we just please, anything to keep PCA from you know what the one I hate the most? I hate all of his celebrations, but the one I hate the most is the one where he stands on second base, puts his hands on his hips, and thrusts his hips out, and
which
basks,
I thought
if he's basking in the glow. I just want to run. I want to strangle him through the television.
Will you stop strangling people? I thought we banned that. I thought because the Giants did some celebration and Major League Baseball came out and said you can't do that.
Well,
I thought there was no suggestive thrusting in
the
baseball.
Giants were thrusting each other. I think that was the problem with them.
That's true.
Whereas PCA is just thrusting out in the middle of nowhere.
But it's suggestive and it's offensive, Chris. I need it to stop.
If he doubles to open the game tonight and does that, I'm going to be really upset.
Let's please keep him in check, Padres. That's the only way.
I know.
We cannot see him this week.
Yes, he gets the last laugh at the moment because he can do all this stuff, but it's difficult to watch.
It is.
Really, truly is. All right, there was one note that I wanted to get to because we had the segment on the our Daily Gambit, and we cut it short a little bit today, but there's another story out there that has got to be troublesome to people in the world of sports, or at least it would be troublesome to me. And that is the fact that former NBA player Michael Beasley and another one named Ed Davis. You may remember Beasley. I think a lot of people remember him.
He was at Kansas State.
He was maybe picked 2nd or 3rd in the draft, and he's just complete. Kind of a disaster. He just didn't play hard.
He was supposed to be like the next big thing.
Yeah, and he was not even close to the next big thing. But Beasley is involved, apparently, with Ed Davis and then an agent, a sports agent. And what else? They were shaving, not games, but they were shaving statistics. Okay? And, the idea was that Michael Beasley had a lot of problems gambling and lost, not on himself or whatever, but lost a ton of money. So he owed all this money. And so people came up to him and said, hey, we can help you get the money back.
Oh, okay. I got a simple plan.
Right. And this is how it works. Right. And so this is how we're going to get you back. You yourself start, shaving some rebounds off and shaving some, whatever you do. This is according to the story. Okay. So you're going to have to read the story, and it's all, I guess, alleged at this point. It's going to be going into courtrooms and whatnot. People have been arrested and are getting indicted. So that's the stage they're at now. So let me preface by saying all of that. But the way it apparently went was, you tell us that you're not going to get the 5 rebounds and we'll all bet against you.
Yeah.
And then you'll cash in. Well, if you read the story like I did, you get into it and you find out Michael Beasley was like several times unable to do what he said he was going to do. So he was shaving points
so
or rebound
the opposite way,
and he was going over, and people were losing.
Oh man,
so they're getting even madder, and they're like, "Dude, you're gonna have to do this again to get the money back."
Do not upset a bookie.
Oh my God! And so I guess they had film of Michael Beasley. Again, this is all in the story, so take it all for what it's worth at this point. And again, alleged, indicted. I like to say all this because I don't want to, everybody's saying I'm blaming stuff, but. Apparently, there was one game where he needed 4 rebounds or something, and he had, or 3.5 rebounds. He had 3, and there was 1 second left in the game, and the ball came off the rim, and Beasley shoved his own teammate out of the way and grabbed the rebound to get over the number.
You can't make it obvious.
He had to make it obvious because he had to get over the number. Here's the thing. Michael Beasley's, he was a goof as a player. Sounds like he's kind of a goof as a human being, and it sounds like he's really got himself into something pretty nasty, and we'll see how it all turns out. And I'm not going to, say one way or the other what I hope happens, other than the fact that they get to the bottom of it, get the truth, and if, the certain parties have to pay whatever penance.
So these were NBA games?
Apparently in NBA games.
Yeah.
So this is not great, but here's the way to solve it, and I think it's time for the leagues to all come together. I'm not talking just basketball. If you look at Major League Baseball, their players right now are trying to get all the DraftKings and all those people to stop having prop bets because the players are tired of their wives and families getting threatened if they don't make a prop bet and somebody loses. And I don't blame the players. You're supposed to get 3 hits and you get 2, and now your wife's getting a death threat. This has got to stop. And there's only one way to stop it, Skrabe. They have to completely outlaw it on the surface and no more offering prop bets. And people are just going to have to find a way to gamble differently. Prop bet now, I can't stop, the offshore market. I can't control everything, but I've got to.
But in the United States, you shouldn't be able to legally.
I've got to come up with something here that stops prop bets, and maybe am I singing one of those hopeful tunes that'll never happen? But Michael Beasley thing is dangerous enough, and you know how many games he could have affected.
Oh, yeah.
Back then doing this crap. You also don't think he's the only one who's ever done it, because it really isn't that hard to do.
It's not.
You say to a nondescript player, you could even conceivably do it to Michael Jordan. You're not going to, but because he doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
But you could consider, he could say your over-under is 30.5, just score 26. Nobody'd notice it.
He did like the gamble, though, so maybe he would be in on that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's too easy. But I think for the safety of us going forward here, I don't care about thugs like Michael Beasley. I do care about what was it, Tanner Scott. Sorry, he's a Dodger, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
But giving up a lead and having his whole family and his kids threatened at school, that is something that is really need to be eradicated. And I think you prop bets, we're going to have to stop them. What do you think? Do you have any other options?
No, I think you're right. I don't think it's going to happen because they make way too much money, and that's what most people are betting.
That's what people want.
They want to do the live prop bets.
And now it's gone into this prediction market, which is even more.
Market, yeah,
the prediction market is even more personal.
But you know what it would take, Chris? It would take maybe a backbone by some of these betting companies to kind of, figure out that, hey, maybe we're not contributing to society in a positive way. And so maybe we need to do something to, save society a little bit from themselves and take away the prop bets. But that's never going to happen. It's too much money on the line.
Yeah.
Way too much money.
Here's what you're asking the betting companies to do. And the leagues that support them. Let's be honest. The NFL and the MLB and the NBA are all in bed with all of them. So let's include them all.
The World Cup too.
Sure. And now you're going to ask me to do a DraftKings spot in a minute.
But that's the thing, is that we can gamble responsibly. These companies can operate responsibly. It's like alcohol. You could do an alcohol ad and there's nothing wrong with that. But certain people are going to think there's something terrible about that.
Well, they're not because they're not drinking responsible. That's fair. That's a fair way of looking at it. But here's my point. What we're asking the gambling companies and the leagues to do is, instead of making $82 billion a year on gambling, settle for $42 billion a year. Right? You're going to have to give away a lot because you're not going to get the same money you usually get from the prop bets. But guess what? You're still going to make enough and a ton. And you're right, Skraby. This is so pie in the sky. But it's the right thing to do. We've got to do something. And I'm not even thinking about saving the gamblers from themselves, the people who simply can't bet responsibly. I'm thinking about players themselves things are being bet on and against them that they don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
Okay. You can bet Manny, because I can see it on DraftKings. I can bet Manny tonight to get over a half a hit, but I can also bet him to get 1.5 hits. I can also bet him to get 2.5 hits.
And your odds are great.
I can get him to bet 3.5 hits. My point being, he could go 3 for 4 tonight, but because I went to the 3.5 bet for the big odds and he struck out his last time, I now hate Manny, even though he had a great game.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get to the 4 I needed. This is what's happening. And guy like, Manny, I shouldn't even use anybody as an example because it puts the thought in, but these people are getting threatened. Their families are getting threatened. That somebody's got to look out for this.
I agree. All right. So that would be a resolution, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Let's hope that
just because it's not going to happen doesn't mean we can't still at least try to push for something. So somebody, figures it out.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with healthy pushback.
Can we also not wait until an athlete's child is harmed at school because the athlete didn't perform before we stand up and go, hey, we got to change this?
Yeah.
Let's do it first.
No, you're right. And that possibly could happen. And that's scary.
Yes, it is. That is honestly scary. Big Five coming up.
Tony Gwynn Jr.
All right, Gwynn and Chris, wrapping it up. But I got good news before we do. Got a chance for you right now to win a pair of tickets to next week's Padres Diamondbacks game at Petco Park. The game is July 8th. First 40,000 fans that night will receive a Trevor Hoffman free bobblehead. First 40,000 get tickets at Padres.com/tickets or win a pair by calling in and answering this question. 833-288-0973. In the history of the NBA, only 2 first-round draft choices have averaged 30 or more points in their rookie season. Only 2 first-round draft choices. I'm sorry. I said it wrong. Sorry, I got to go back, Skraby, because I'd be wrong. In the history of the NBA, only 2 first overall picks have averaged 30 or more points in their first season.
Okay.
You got to be a first overall pick. In the history of the league, only 2 of them have averaged 30 in their first season. For example, Michael Jordan was picked 3rd, so he would not be a good guess here. Give me either of the 2 guys that have accomplished it. First overall pick to average 30 or more in their rookie NBA season. 833-288-0973. I think it's not easy to look that up.
No.
If you can come up with it, though, you'll go to the Padre Diamondback game. And now it's time for the Big 5.
Back to our normal time.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big 5 starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla for dining or takeout options. Visit spiroscuisine.com. Chris and I broadcasting live for the Bill House Studios, where we know how. Tony Gwynn Jr. at Wrigley Field. And we got some news right before the show.
Number 5.
That Jake Cronenworth is back. I do find it funny when the official announcement says that he's returning from his 7-day concussion IL. Which, I mean, it's not misleading, but it kind of is. But he's back. He's back in the lineup.
More like the 70.
Yeah, 70 day. But I'm glad that he's
IL.
feeling good. He's back. He's going to be with the team. They've recalled Bradley Rodriguez. They've put David Morgan on the 15-day IL. And they optioned Will Wagner to AAA El Paso. And so they made a flurry of moves today. But I was going to ask you guys this before the show. Sungmoon Song has had a pretty good stretch in the last 7 games. He's hitting 300, 862 OPS, 4 RBIs. He's walked 3 times. And he's overall been a decent hitter at the plate. So, Chris, my question originally was, if Jake came back today, who was being sent down? But that has been answered now. Is Sungmoon Song on this roster to stay?
I don't know. I'm not sold, but it's not really. He didn't have to sell me. So, they obviously seeing enough in him to keep him there. I think he's helps them as a pinch runner. He's been really good defensively. You can put whatever numbers you want in front of me. I still don't see him, hit the ball with authority on any kind of consistent basis. I saw a clutch single dribbled through the middle, against the drawn-in infield Friday night. I was happy about it. It helped the team.
Did you have to use the word dribbled?
Well, that's what it was. He doesn't. I don't. Like I said, he doesn't hit the ball with authority yet. And when he does hit it, it's almost always in the air, and I just don't think that's using his best skill set. But I think they must see enough in him to keep him around. I was surprised at this decision because Will Wagner's been getting most of the playing time. So if Sungmoon Song is the guy you wanted to keep, then why was Will Wagner getting most of the starts? That didn't really make sense to me. But Sungmoon Song's with this club, so I'm going to root for him. But I'm not convinced yet.
All right. So Tony, is Sungmoon Song here to stay?
He's here for now. I don't think he's, I can't say that he's here to stay. I think Sungmoon Song's defense was better than Wagner's, which is probably why. And they're probably a push. I think, matter of fact, I think most of Wag's starts came as a designated hitter. I think he also played. He may play second once or twice, but I think majority of the time it was Song who was the guy who they put at second base. So I think now with Jake back, there's going to be less asked of that spot for now. And so I think he's proven that he's starting to make adjustments. He looks better now than he did, I thought, at the beginning when he first came up.
Yeah.
And this was kind of the same process we saw Ha-Sung Kim go through. I would say he's further along than Ha-Sung was at this point when he first got here. So I don't know. I don't know that it ultimately is like too big of a difference maker, whether it was Wagner or Sung in this point or Song on this point. But I will say it's nice to have Jake back today for sure.
Yeah. All right. That's the big Padres news. If you missed it, what we talked about earlier, go back to the 2 p.m. hour.
Number 4.
The Golden State Warriors are planning a pursuit of LeBron James in free agency and Anthony Davis via trade this week, league sources told ESPN's Shams Charania, opening up the flexibility for possibility after Draymond Green declined his $27.6 million player option this morning. They think that he is going to set it up for a more team-friendly deal with himself to bring in these other players. Tony, if this all works out, is this going to be successful for the Warriors?
No, I don't think so.
It's like, get the oldest team in the NBA together.
I mean, because the biggest difference maker would still need to be Anthony Davis. Can he? Because you're going in the West, so that means you got the Spurs you got to deal with, and Wembanyama. Do you have? I just don't know Anthony's going to be there in the end. I like Anthony Davis, but he has been hurt often in those times over the course of a season. I don't even know that it ends up happening to begin with. Like, I know it's like a conversation and the Golden State Warriors want to do it, but I just think if this is indeed LeBron's last year, I don't know that he would. Why would he want to go that route? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It is to me. It's a. I guess if he felt like that was a team that could get him to win, he would take the opportunity. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sold that it would get them the championship based on all those other things I said, but I'm not sold it even happens.
Chris, will this be successful for the Warriors? Say it happens.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I was just about to start by saying it's not going to happen.
Which part? LeBron? Or
I don't
Anthony
think LeBron's going to
Davis?
leave. Why would he want to play a year without his son and go elsewhere where honestly, this Warrior team that they're talking about would not have any better chance of winning than the Laker one he's already on.
Correct.
But it's an intriguing group of star players that's going to make the Warriors relevant. If you tune in and you see Steph Curry and you get a healthy Jimmy Butler and you put, Anthony Davis and LeBron on the floor, people are going to want to watch. But I agree with Tony. No way Anthony Davis is going to stay healthy. If he did, it would be the first time in his life that he has. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I will say one last thing. I'm loving that this is happening and this is newsworthy because I know it's just tearing you up inside. Because you hate LeBron.
You say this,
LeBron coming to the Warriors would be your payment for disliking him so much over the recent years. You'd have to start rooting for him.
I don't have as much of a hatred of LeBron anymore. I've grown.
Okay.
I don't know, Jim.
We'll see.
I think that ultimately LeBron uses this as leverage because I know that it was already reported that he wanted to re-sign. It sounds like the contract negotiations are kind of going slow.
Yeah.
So why not?
This will speed him up a little bit.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, Shams, I'm thinking about going to the Warriors. Put that out there.
Throw that in there.
It's easy because the Warriors have already said they want to pursue him. So I mean, it's just like you could just add that bad boy to the mix now.
Warriors also, I hear, are interested in bringing Rick Barry out of retirement. We
need the fish ties of Don Nelson.
Get it as old as you can.
Speaking of old, Jorge Posada, remember him? Yankees legend. He was on a podcast recently, Abriendo El Podcast. So it was all in Spanish. This is translated, but I guess he is not a fan of today's game. Quote, I can't watch today's baseball. He went on to say the baseball being played today is garbage. You can't judge Jeter through a computer, and he went after the people who are judging Jeter's defense strictly on the computer numbers. He said back then, striking out 100 times in a season felt like you weren't doing your job. Now, guys can strike out constantly, hit 30 home runs, bat 202, and still get paid like stars. Bottom line, his message was pretty simple in this podcast. The game got smarter on paper, but dumber between the lines. Chris, is he right, or is he just turning back time?
He's a bitter old man. I recognize.
He's a bitter old man.
Yeah, I recognize these complaints. I mean, I recognize these complaints because I've had many of them. So I get it where a little bit where he's coming from. But here's a couple of things that he's conveniently forgotten about today's game. When we watch today's game, I don't have to watch Jorge Posada walk back and forth to the mound after every other pitch.
That's a good point.
I don't have to watch Jorge Posada stand outside the batter's box for 15 seconds between every pitch and get his swing right. I also don't have to watch 17-inning games. I also don't have to watch ad nauseum throws go over to first base to try to pick runners off. I think the game is a lot quicker, a lot more alert, a lot more, easier to kind of get into a game now. Some of those old Yankee Red Sox games, which I'm sure Posada thinks are the greatest thing in the history of the sport, went 4.5 hours. I mean, you got to be kidding me. So,
and those are 9-inning games,
But yeah, I have the similar complaints that he does in terms of you want to rate guys on certain things. I in a lot of ways, though, the game has gotten, a lot better and more athletic. So, I don't see Posada facing, 103 out of the bullpen in the 6th inning on either. So, I mean, there's a few things
that give and take.
Yeah, there's a few things that today's game can point out.
Tony, do you think Jorge Posada is right, or is he just turning back time?
I think Jorge Posada and Chris are having two entirely different arguments in terms of what he's talking about and what I think. Let me go out of the way real quick. So, we're in tight quarters here.
Hey, boys.
Jesse.
What was my? What was I talking about?
You were talking about the different thoughts between Chris and Jorge Posada.
So I think in some ways, yes, Jorge is probably defensive to whatever was said about Jeter and his teammate, and is reacting to that. There are certain elements that I think a lot of guys who played in that era may not like about today's game. But what Chris is talking about is the fan experience.
Yeah.
And that has certainly changed, and baseball had to adapt in order to stay relevant in that. And I know Jorge understands that ultimately this is just I won't call him an old man. I will say an older generation venting about, the hypocrisy of, now all of a sudden wanting to say Derek Jeter wasn't that great of a player. I think that's his ultimate beef with what's being said. And he's now just kind of, what we all do when we're angry. We torch a little bit outside the lines too, because we want to show how defensive we are. But I think he probably understands that these guys are seeing it's a different game. It's a completely different game.
Real quick, the analytics might say that Jeter didn't cover whatever ground that they want to say. You know what? Those analytics say the same thing about Jay Cronenworth. I see him make every single play. I think, maybe Jorge's not giving all of us enough credit, because I don't think there's any statistic that could come out that would ever get me off of thinking that Derek Jeter isn't one of the great players. Right? That you can put any analytic you want together. I'm still going to have to believe in that.
That's the crazy part, is that people will reference these analytics and be like, see, he's not the greatest of all time.
It's not going to change my opinion, though. I watched it all unfold. So
yeah. For some reason in our world, you show them video and some people still won't believe you.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Scotty Scheffler. Last two are going to be golf related, but Scotty Scheffler was very annoyed with his final round playing partner, Victor Hovland, yesterday at the Travelers Championship. He was so annoyed that he walked to the next tee box while Hovland was still lining up his putt. There is on the PGA Tour no actual specific time to take a shot, but the recommended time is 40 seconds or less and 60 seconds or less when you play the first shot on a hole. So if you're the first one to play your second shot, you get 60 seconds. Tony, if you could make a rule, like hard and fast amount of time that a player has to play the shot, what would it be?
I'm sorry.
Was Scheffler out there with a stopwatch, or what was the problem?
But
here?
Victor Hovland is very slow.
He takes forever.
He takes forever.
But
I'm saying
we know this going in, right? This wasn't.
He was very slow yesterday.
Okay,
he was very, very, very.
All right.
slow.
I think I have seen instances where it's ridiculous, and there probably should be like a amount of time you got to get your shot in, right? With some flexibility depending on the difficulty in some of that. I don't think it's a rule that will be even used that much, because I think most of these golfers stay in a reasonable time. But for some of these jokers, though, yeah, let's go ahead.
Some of these jokers.
Put the clock on them.
Like, there was a guy named Kevin Na, and he won some tournaments. He was pretty good there for a little bit, but he had the yips, and he would stand over drives for a minute before he would be able to take the club back. And it was to the point where it was debilitating for him. But they never really said, hey, you need to hurry it up. So I'm saying 30 seconds.
Is different to me. Like, I mean, the yips, okay, I can see you need a little time. But if you don't got a clear sign of that, you just out here trying to make sure the line is like, I mean, to the millimeter.
I just want to say that that in the end here, Scotty Scheffler played himself to a certain extent here, because the final result of that tournament, I believe, was a playoff between the two of them this morning, which Victor Hovland won.
Yes, he did.
So Victor Hovland, look, Scotty Scheffler's the number one guy in the world. Victor Hovland got in his head. Whether he did it intentionally or not, Scotty Scheffler allowed that to happen.
Scotty had a 4-foot putt that he missed.
Well, I mean, that's surprising to me. As great as Scotty Scheffler is, to me, if you're annoyed and you're Scotty Scheffler, and he might have maybe had a right to be annoyed, go talk about it after the tournament. Say, hey, this has got to stop, or we need to think about putting a clock in. But to me, walking to the next green, that shows me that he got you a little bit. And so, maybe that didn't help Scotty Scheffler.
The analysts were saying that Scotty was probably saying, hey, I'm not going to play at your speed. You're going to play at my speed. But
he wasn't going to, because if Scotty went to the next hole and teed off, Victor wouldn't have been there yet.
Yeah, no, I don't even think he could have teed off by that point. Anyway,
I think a clock might come into play one of these days. And,
they do time your group. If your group falls behind pace, they tell you. If you get a warning, and then you get a penalty.
So then Hovland must not be playing slow enough to fall behind pace.
They're in the last group, so there's a little bit of leeway.
Well, then, okay. Well, Scotty Scheffler's been in enough last groups to know that can happen, I would think.
I agree. Scotty, how annoying would it be, though, to wake up super early, go warm up for one hole, and then miss a 4-foot birdie putt to win a tournament?
To finish second and collect $800,000, I'd probably wake up and go take the putt.
Okay, I clicked it. Is it going to go?
Number one.
Okay, there we go. It is pretty rare that a Yankees-Red Sox game gets preempted for anything, especially on network television. But last night, due to the rain delay of the Travelers Championship, the NBC decided to delay the start of Yankees-Red Sox on their network until after golf was done. They said that they talked to both PGA Tour and Major League Baseball, and this is what they thought would be the best thing. Chris, are you surprised that NBC chose golf over baseball?
I was kind of surprised when I saw this story. Frankly, I don't think it was much of anything.
Really?
I don't know. You ask yourself, any event that you're watching that you've put time into, should they just stop covering it?
No,
and
they
cut into the beginning
channel
of a game in the top of the first inning that nobody cares about.
Yankees, Red Sox.
I'll be honest with you. Well, okay. I'll put it another way. When they have the rule in the NFL, now we don't really have to deal with that too often anymore because we don't have a team. But when the Chargers were on, right, in San Diego, and their game started at 1:00, it had to come on TV at 1:00. That was the NFL rule. I think even the most diehard Charger fan would get upset when 28-28 in overtime, the team is driving, and the announcer goes, that's it. We're going to go to the kickoff of the Charger game. But that's what they used to do. That's what they used to do. So that would have been, to me, this would have been similar. So I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But I guess maybe there were probably a few Yankee Red Sox fans who, were upset. But Playoffs, World Series, totally different, but not regular season.
Tony, surprised by this? NBC choosing golf over baseball?
I was surprised that they actually had the wherewithal to discuss it with both sides.
That's a good point.
Honestly, I also think it's another sign that Yankees Red Sox ain't popping like that no more. Like I don't know if that was in the height of time they wouldn't have cut away.
Yeah, you're right about that.
From that time, but I think I actually was proud of the three people involved in this. Like they actually came to an agreement. We didn't have any bickering. Nobody's trying to sue him for the breach of contract or anything like that. And it worked out. So
Padres was a DeBrave game last week. Monday, I think, got pushed to ESPN2.
It did.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we almost pushed Sammy Levitt's pregame show back a couple of minutes there. But we haven't. He's coming up next. The answer was Walt Bellamy or Oscar Robertson. Somebody went to Chat GPT and found it out.
How do you know that?
The way they read the answer off of their phone to us, I could tell.
You mean the robotic voice?
Pretty much, yeah. Paraguay, Germany 1-1 in extra time. Padre pregame show next.